Blog Talk Radio. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys and dolls. I want to thank you all so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to Yvonne Latrell's podcast. I am the host, Yvonne Latrell. Here with me, as always, is my fabulous co-host, SC and Fax.
What's up?
Hi. How are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for asking.
Good. It's great to be here. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Let's just start by saying that.
Okay. It is a beautiful day.
Yeah. Well, that's our show, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Be the shortest show in history.
Yeah, exactly.
I was messing with Yvonne because I told her I wasn't gonna say that because she put me on punishment. So I was gonna say I'm not gonna say nothing.
Wow, really?
What did you do?
It's a little inside joke. I'll tell you later.
Right.
And not for everybody's ears.
Ignore
Yeah, it's probably not something
Ignore
simple.
him.
Didn't clean his dog plate. His dog plate. His lunch plate. Thinking about German Shepherds.
Nah. Yeah, right? She just been acting out, since she got, since she got liberated.
Do not even go.
We're live.
Fax, how did you say the weather was? Fax, how did you say the weather was over there?
I forgot. I'm actually kind of tied up in what SC's talking about. Let's, I automatically forgot. What were we saying, SC? What happened? She liberated how?
Don't you even.
She's been liberated like 2-3 weeks now, and she's been acting out, She's been acting out of control.
No,
you can't tell her nothing.
That is not true.
You want to elaborate, Yvonne, or you want to get into it?
I had a salad today for dinner.
Very liberating. Extra croutons or what? You going crazy with it?
Just lettuce, tomatoes, chicken, extra avocado. I love avocado. So
some eggplant. You have to put some eggplant in your salad, or
no?
Oh, okay. A lot of people do that. I don't know.
No, absolutely not.
SC's giggling. It's got to be it. Well, one can only assume.
I'm good. I'm done. I'm going to leave her alone. Stop picking on her. She's like that sibling that you just pick on.
Whatever. So today's topic is clean your own house before trying to change the world. And this topic is from Fax. So did y'all want to get into the topic, or did y'all have any news or anything that y'all wanted to talk about?
About USC?
Yeah,
I don't have any. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a couple of things. What about that plant that exploded in Texas? It killed, I think, 18,000 cows. And the plant had 19,000 cows, and 18,000 of them died. Only 1,000 survived. And they have footage where you can hear the cows screaming in pain and agony as they burning alive. And it was for a couple of miles from what the smoke is showing. I wasn't there, so I'm just saying, what I actually saw. of that, and I'm like, wow, so now they're saying that it might have been a feed problem, or not a feed, what is it?
Like a fertilizer thing?
Where they do the yeah. But what's ironic about that whole situation? I believe that a lot of TV shows tell on what's going to happen or what has happened or the reason why it has happened, because that was just on an episode of a TV show recently where the farm had caught on fire, and they said that it was an electrical issue or whatever. And I can't remember what TV show it was on, but it was like Law and Order or one of them police shows. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, that's ironic that would be on a show a week before that actually took place, Like they're always saying that the Simpsons are always predicted things. They're always showing stuff that's happened or it's going to happen. People believe in time travel, I don't know. I just think that with the government, anything is possible. They do their own thing. They do their own dirt. And I think that usually what they do is because they're always talking about these impact actors. That something happened and they're always there. They're always there for the sad story of everything. So nothing surprises me. Nothing is put past me as far as that goes. I think that they have a plan for every president. If something goes wrong and his presidency is being jeopardized, that a school shooting happens or something crazy, So, and it's just me. I could be a conspiracy theorist or, I could be speaking some truth. I just know that a lot of things that the government do, they'll cover it up in a heartbeat, But if we did the same thing, we'll go to jail for it. Representatives was talking, and I said this on another show about the banks. He said that we're counterfeiting our own money. He says, but if the average person would have did it, they'll go to jail, but nobody's being punished for it on the bank level. So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, it's wild about the cow thing. It's like it's kind of like I think it might be a little loud here. It's kind of like it seems like the last year or so they've been attacking. You've seen I call it attacks, but there's been all kinds of fires or whatever. I can't think of it, like poultry farms with the egg prices, with all sorts of our food and crops and everything have just been, catching on fire, all these warehouses and stuff, farms catching on fire. Mm-hmm. It seems like that's been going on a lot over the last year or so. So, I mean, at first, you could kind of try to make a joke about it and say, well, we do barbecues right out here in Texas, and it was just a massive cookout where we just, we're like 19,000 of them, let's do it, feed the whole community. But it's a little concerning, man. That's a lot of food. That's and not only just that, it's also a lot of people's livelihoods. Like, whose family was that? Who owned that? And how many people were relying on that meat? I know that there's this other thing going around where they're talking about injecting the cows with an mRNA virus now, and they're wanting people to be careful about like the kind of meats that they're getting. And a lot of the local ranchers, private companies are talking about, we don't use that mRNA thing. So buy from us. Don't buy from Walmart. Don't buy from wherever, these vaccinated cows are going to be at. So maybe it was something like that. They had to take out a huge portion of local farming too. It could have just been a coincidence, but it could also be, you're not far off, SC, with the it could be the truth or it could be a conspiracy theory. Those things aren't really far off a lot of times,
Right.
Yeah. A lot of times they not far off from the truth. That's how they make movies. They got to say some type of truth in some of them. Not all. Of course, we know that Star Wars ain't real. Things like that. But you do have situations where there's a conspiracy theory. you know. And if you think deeper into certain things, you're like, wow, that makes a little bit of sense, you know. But like we've had the conversation before, you know, amongst ourselves, you know, there's 85% of the world is dumb and blind, and there's 10% that's running that, you know, and then the other 5% are the ones that are aware of both sides. You know, so who's to say that, you know, we watch and see certain things and be like, yeah, you know what, that don't make no sense. Or why did this? Why did that? You know, it has to fit a narrative. Something has to fit, you know, it has to fit perfectly in a picture for the, you know, to show the artistry of the picture. You know, it's just, you know, but we can't, for the legal reasons, we can't hold these people that are telling us we got to clean up. You know, we want to do this for the world, we want to do that for the world, but they got so much in their closet. You know, you got the senators and the you know, having sex, raping, this, that, and the third, and, you know, but they're telling us that you can't do it. But they're exempt from being prosecuted because they're sitting in a powerful position. You know, the only way they could do it is in front of the state, you know, the Senate or whatever, you know. And I just find it ironic, you know, like, okay, I don't know if y'all seen that video, NBA versus NFL, where the guy says, which one is it, NFL and NBA? Have either one of y'all seen that video?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, but keep going.
Okay. You know, he gave a rundown, you know, and this is the rundown. But what he said at the end was a little bit wrong. And I looked into it, and what I found out, he was off on the numbers, right? It was 36 have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused for writing bad checks. 117 have been bankrupt. Directly or indirectly, at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71 cannot get a credit card because of bad credit. 14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 are defendants in lawsuits. 84 have been arrested for drunk driving within a year's time. He said that there's 435 members of Congress, and it's actually 535 members of Congress. So that's even worse. You understand what I'm saying? And since the entire history of Congress, only 20 members have been expelled, 15 from the Senate, 5 from the House of Representatives, and 17 of these 20 were expelled for supporting the Confederate States in 1861 and 1862. So basically, they're telling you it's a long shot for you to even think about any of them being moved or being pushed out of their position, no matter how bad their crime is. You know, but all of us will lose our jobs for it. But they tell us, oh, you got to be uplifting citizens. You can't do this, you can't do that. You know, and they said the best part of a good business is the leadership. You know, these men and these women are sitting in positions of power and leadership for the country, but they're doing all these horrendous crimes that the average person would go to jail for. Look at the guy in Texas. He got 70 years for spitting at the cops. Now, I'm not saying that spitting is right. That's wrong as hell. But I think 70 is a little excessive.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, I mean, he also, it is. He did have a bunch of like previous convictions, domestic violence, assault. He had all kinds of. This wasn't like his first go around, so I think they hit him with the max with what they could based on his previous charges. But still,
yeah, they charged him for that. They said, hey, listen, since you had the previous charges, we're going to charge you, but it's because of the spitting, we're going to give you the 70 years. So you're telling the women that he had those charges against, that their charges wasn't as excessive as theirs. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just talking about like the narrative. Like, it's only bad when we say it's bad. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Domestic violence.
Because he didn't get 70 years for domestic violence. He got 70 years for spitting on an official. That's where it gets all crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the point I'm saying. It's like they pick and choose on when they say, "Oh, listen, this is where we're gonna hit them with the max. We're gonna get the maximum minimum or the minimum maximum." And it's like, whoa, what about this other stuff? What about the attempted murder? He didn't get for nothing for that, but you understand what I'm saying? So, like, think about it. Texas just executed I think on the 13th of this month, executed the third person within a year's time. I want to say the third person within a year's time. But the crazy thing about the execution thing is, for one, you're teaching people we're going to kill you because we're trying to teach you killing is wrong, right? Go figure that one. But at the end of the day, look how many people have been executed and they found out after they're dead they weren't even guilty. But it was just an agenda that they had to show that we're tough on crime, we're tough on this, it don't matter. We're just going to be tough on it. Oh, sorry, my bad, we killed the wrong person. So it's like, where do you have think about all the people that's been locked up for years and they're being released. And it's like, damn, you gave 20, 30, 40 years away to the state and you find out through DNA evidence, oh, he wasn't even there. And then they have the nerve, some states have the nerve to say, oh, we're not going to pay you for that time. Or they'll put a cap on how much money they'll give you. They're like, yo, dude, this dude could have been anything. He could have been the creator of anything new in the world. So I don't know. I just have a problem with certain things. And then the crazy thing, listen to this. Marijuana. Almost every state is accepting it now. And then guess what they're going to do? They're going to expunge everybody's record that got sentenced for all those years of marijuana. And that's only because the government figured out a way that they could tax it and make money off of it. It was never about the crime. It was about the money. And it's always been that way. Now these people that you took their lives away and put them away forever, they're home. What can they do? They can't do nothing but collect Social Security now. You can't give them any of that time back. I just think that a lot of these laws need to be looked into and they need to be adjusted accordingly. You got all these senators assault. Hey, listen, what's going to happen with them? Or they get a slap on the wrist and they get back at work tomorrow. But the average person, he gets assault charge. He loses his job. He might even go to jail for a little bit of time. So it's one of them do as I say, not as I do. And it's always been that way with the government. Do as I say, not as I do. You watch all these TV shows and they show you, what was that one where the president was messing around with that girl? Scandal. Was it Scandal? I think it was Scandal. And they're showing you Olivia. I think that was her name. I can't remember. I'm confusing all these shows and characters.
Right.
But I don't know. What's your take on it, Yvonne? What do you feel about,
I don't know.
It's just a lot to absorb at one time. I know that. I know it's a lot, And sometimes when I get into my little rants on certain things, I throw a bunch of thoughts and ideas together because that's just how my mind works. It's just been a crazy few months. The money situation with the banks, people, everything is AI now. I think AI is going to take over. AI is going to destroy a lot of jobs. And they're gonna put a lot of people out of business. But people are talking about, oh nah, it's gonna be, for educational purposes. We need to train these AI and teach them how to do this, teach them how to do that. And people are not realizing that these AIs are getting ready to start eliminating them from their jobs. Because think about all the stores now. Walmart was the first store that really started the self-checkout, and now all these stores are doing self-checkout. They got a device that they can tow away cars now. They put it down on the floor and they use a remote control. They can lift the car up off the ground and tow it away like a tow truck. They're getting rid of them jobs. Now the New York City Police Department just released 3 robots that they're about to start using to fight crime. One is a GPS robot and the other one is a dog that they're going to start sending into crime areas and everything, So at some point in time, they're going to say, hey, we don't need no human cops. We deal with computers. But everybody acts like computers can't be, if something can't go wrong. Everybody act like, but you think about it, everything that a computer knows, it had to be put in there by somebody. The computer didn't know how to just do something. It has to be programmed. So I just have a lot of problems with a lot of things that's going on. Everything now, they want you to do everything online. They say, oh, do it online, it's easier, but credit fraud is at an all-time high. It's to a point right now with links that are sent to your phone, it can get into your phone and take all your information. So I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, and it's not getting any better. It just seems like it's getting worse, or they becoming another way of deceitful means of doing things.
Yeah, I think that's why, I'm not sure, but I think that's why Facts came up with this topic. I think. I could be wrong. Facts?
Yeah.
Facts, are you there?
I think his mic went out, because I did hear a click. I think his mic went out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we could keep going. It's just so much going on, and there's so much to absorb at one point in time. You just either get fed up of it, or you just get with the program. And I think a lot of people just get with the program because they're tired of it. I knew I heard a click. Yeah, his line got cut off. He just texted me.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay. Yeah, I see him. I'm trying to pop back in.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's his headset because he got that new headset. I like the headset he got too. It's cool. But it's just so much going on. I think that at some point in time they're gonna, start dealing with the money. They can't keep continuously counterfeiting money. They're gonna just say, "Hey, listen, this is what we're gonna do." Is
Hold on, there he go. Let me see if he can hear us. Facts.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Hello. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear me the first time when I was trying to say something?
Yeah. You said Facts had this topic, and I started talking, and it wasn't working for whatever reason. It wasn't coming through, so I was like, let me just call back in. Speaking of technology, SC, here's the perfect example. But no, I mean you're right. I'm going to cut you off in the middle of what you were saying. What was the last thing you were touching on? Are you good, or you want to move on to the topic? Or?
Oh yeah. We can move on to the topic. I was touching around the topic. I really wasn't touching the gist of the topic. Well, I kind of was, but you know me.
Yeah. No, you've got. You were touching on a lot of good things there. And this is one of the questions I posed. So the topic for tonight's show, at least the one I was thinking of here was, and that we can all relate to, because a lot of the shows we've had in the past all kind of touch on the same thing, and a lot of with what SC was talking about, how society's going crazy, maybe our government's corrupt, everything. There's this just the conspiracies and the power and all that kind of stuff going on. It almost has everything warped. So the topic is clean your own house or your own room before you try to change the world. And it's really important because what SC's talking about here is, so here's the main question. And this goes exactly with what you were saying. So, like, if the younger generation, a lot of, like, the generation that we have going on who is protesting and fighting and saying America's terrible, America was never great, the whole 9 yards. If they think that society, our system is corrupt, it's systemically biased in, every direction you want to point, even down to, like, how capitalism is terrible, democracy is terrible, it's kind of like it's being fed into their brains that our system is completely broken. And exactly how you were describing it is how the regular citizens were just kind of, we're the ones that get charged with all the crimes, while it looks like that Eyes Wide Shut party gets to do whatever they want. But, like, what is the motivation for any of the younger generation to take responsibility for themselves or accountability for bettering themselves and their own domain when they think that they're coming up in a society that's already it's destined to fail? Like, there's no motivation for them whatsoever to take accountability when it looks like the system is the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If the system is the problem, if the system is the problem, and everyone knows that, everyone is now just a victim, and we're sitting back watching the elite take over, and everything is now corrupt. Like, so how can you? How do you better yourself in something like that?
It's a hard one to do, because, for one, this next generation, they feel like they're owed, like they're the ones that went through everything, and they're just entitled. Right now, I'm entitled. And that's how all of them act. They act like they're entitled to certain things. And it's hard to try to get them across, like, hey, listen, and prime example, AARP, we've known that for years, was for the elderly. These college kids went to court and said, hey, listen, why do they get that and we can't get it? And it's like, yo, do you not realize that they're older now? They've been through everything that they need to go through, and they won a court case. So now anybody can get it, And it's crazy to me, like, everything they feel like they're entitled to. They're entitled to this. They're entitled to that. Oh, I think that, it's just a lot of things that I don't agree with. Now, some things I agree with, generational curses, we got to break them or whatever, But at the end of the day, at what point in time is no longer a generational curse and you're just being a spoiled ass brat, or feel that you're entitled to something?
Yeah, it's almost like we've created, or this system has created the mindset that everyone else is the problem, and everyone else, if they're behind, it no longer requires hard work and sacrifice and fixing yourself. If we all put all the bullshit aside, because everyone's so wrapped up in this society thing going on with the corruption and with capitalism being the problem and everything I just mentioned before, everyone is so wrapped up in that they're blinded by the fact that, like, all you have to do is, like, put your phone down for a little while, disappear for some time, and self-work. So are you going, like, what can you do in your own personal life to better yourself as a human? Like, if we all worked on our own individual flaws, which we all have, society should then naturally get better, shouldn't it? If everyone became the best person they could be as an individual, wouldn't society fix itself?
I don't know, because everybody feels like their opinion matters. And what I mean by that is, prime example, and I'm going to go back to that cell phone thing, because I'm going to tell you a pet peeve of mine, and it irritates me to my soul, is the first thing is Facebook. Somebody will make a post, then you'll comment to their post, and they'll get upset because you comment to their post. It's like, yo, hold up. You put it up there for opinions, but because my opinion is not yours, you get upset with me. Hold up. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I had a situation like that. This girl made a comment. She posted this thing that Morris Chestnut had made a statement that he's been married 27 years. He hasn't stepped out on his wife, blah, 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 yada, yada. So she was like on some, so what do you think about that? I said, yeah, I think that his wife probably never made him jealous. She's never gaslit him. She never put him in a predicament that he was, you know, he exposed himself to her as far as like a feminine side of him, and she used it against him. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, I understand it. You didn't have to explain it. I'm like, whoa, hold up. Did you just say what was their opinion on it? So then I said, you know what's funny is if it don't apply, why reply? She said, yeah, you should take your own advice. I said, you know what? I said, I'm not going to argue because I was always taught never argue with a fool because onlookers won't know the difference. They won't know who's the fool if you stand there arguing with them, you know? Mm-hmm. Now, back to the cell phone thing. Now, the cell phone thing. Oh. So, the cell phone thing with me is I have this pet peeve. So, you know, I've told you I'm back in the gym working out or whatever. So when I go to the gym, I'm in there for 3-4 hours straight. When I get in the gym and I'm getting my zone, you know, because I'm trying to get back to the way things were looking before, you know. And everybody is sitting on a machine on their phone. When I'm in the gym, I don't even talk to nobody on my phone. I plug my phone into the wall, and I'm moving around because I got the wireless headset, and I'm working out. But everybody and their mama sitting on the thing, holding up a machine, texting. That is like the biggest pet peeve of mine. And that was even before, you know, my accident. This has always been a pet peeve of mine. You know, why are you holding up a machine while you're sitting there texting? Do that shit somewhere else. Let me get to this machine, you know. But, you know, that's just one of my pet peeves. But he's right. These kids need to start putting their cell phones down because if they don't, you know, like that movie WALL-E, you see what happened. Everybody got so caught up into the hold on one second. Everybody got so caught up into their computers and everything that these people was putting on all this weight. They were getting big. They were so stuck on the computers. Nobody was able to get in shape. Nobody was able to do anything. And that's what's happening to society. We've become the most unhealthy country. I think we're number 3 in obesity. You know, and that's crazy because nobody wants to put them phones down. You know, and I think we're number 3 in obesity.
We're number 2 behind Mexico.
You know. Okay, so and then what's crazy about that too, and this is another thing that I have into my agenda of conspiracy theories. You know, why is it that Mexico isn't Mexico part of the 50 states? Or did I not learn that in school?
No.
Mexico.
Mexico's a country.
So, okay, so New Mexico is a state.
New Mexico is a state, yeah.
Yeah, so why is it that you need a passport to either one of them? Or my law?
You don't need a passport to New Mexico.
You need one from Mexico.
It's Mexico. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm you know, shit. Listen.
Yeah. No, it's you can go to New Mexico and buy all the Hatch Green chilies that you want, man. And you can cross them back over I'm right on the border. I'm right on the border of New Mexico, also, man. It's a nice place.
Yeah, you right there. Yeah.
The land of enchantment. No, but yeah, but yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's like the you know, the kids, all right, they're in the gym, but they're on their phones. So I mean, that's kind of, you know, we can go into like generalizations of what's going on, and I get that. So it's almost like, what you're saying with AI too. It's almost like people think that now, how everything has developed and technology has evolved, that if you can make yourself look good online on social media, you don't have to look good behind the scenes. Yeah. It's like you can be that fat slob, you can be that depressed, out of shape person, you can be that whatever it is that you want to, but as long as you have a presence on social media where it looks like you're successful, it looks like you're knocking it out of the park, it's like that's what everybody's kind of going towards. Do you think it creates some sort of like, not self-absorbed, I can't think of the term. What is that term?
You create an image. You could create an image.
Some sort of,
that, you could be anybody. You could make yourself into anybody. You could be a millionaire. You could be a model, a top model, or whatever on the internet. The internet has made more celebrities than hard work. Ain't that crazy? The internet has made more celebrities than hard work. All of these people on TikTok or whatever, they created this image. And it could be the worst person in the world, but we see them in this light that we put them in.
Yeah, so like, what is your home? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was just thinking, like, and that's important too, but what does everyone's home look like? Like, what does your bedroom look like? What does your house look like? Is it clean? Is it in order? Is it all over the place? How you live at home is a reflection of what goes on in your head, in your mind, in your psyche. Your home is a reflection of that. So you got people who they live in this, pigsty more or less. And I used to be like a cable guy. I would go to, I've been to thousands of houses in all different, conditions and whatnot. And you really see how people live out there. And just the different types of people that you could run across in society too. It's a very odd job to have. But, if your house is cluttered, if it's dirty, if it's not organized, that's a reflection of your mind. And then you take that unorganized mind and say, all right, this is too much work to fix what's going on in my house. What's going on in the outside world? What's a group I can get with? That whole tribalism thing. What's this group over here I can get involved with and become a part of that? Where we all flock together. We all accept each other for who we are and what we do and what we think. Like, it's cool to have that, but you've got to have that when you've got your own shit together personally first. Otherwise, you're going to have a group of unorganized, just this chaotic group of people who come together thinking that everything's okay. It's just a group of unorganized, chaotic people that come together. But if we could spread that out and everyone clean their house and just, work on themselves individually, like I said, declutter, hit the gym, how's your diet, how's your exercise, what's your relationship like with your mom, or whatever, your spouse. Do you have a good relationship with them? Or do you want to push that aside and go join a group of people who, again, just maybe an angry, kind of bitter, judgmental, let's point fingers, society's the fucking problem. It's tribalism. Yeah. And there's so many different groups now, and these groups are the ones that are getting elevated. And now we have to now they get their own months. We have to you know what I'm saying? To me, it's kind of crazy. It's crazy to me, man.
Yeah. There's a month and a day for everything now. I was like, everything. I don't remember it being Teachers Month or Teachers Day or Teachers Work anything. Teachers work every day. So what do you mean Teacher Work Day? So why do you that work? Why do you that work? Yeah, but I get it, man. I get it, Sax. I really get it. I get what you get, but it's so easy to not worry about yourself. And it's easier to point the finger at everybody else. It's easier to say, this is what's wrong with you. This is what's wrong with you. This is what's wrong with you. But it's hard to deflect and reflect, rather, on yourself. So you deflect everything about yourself out into the world, And it's just crazy. You're right. It is, man. It just, nobody wants to take responsibility. It seems like it's easier to point the finger at somebody else and say, hey, if it wasn't because of you, I wouldn't be this way. So I don't know. You might be on to something, but it's so hard for people to stay focused on a mission that doesn't have some controversy, because controversy sells. Anything controversial is going to sell.
But why is everyone trying to sell something? Is my point. But why? Because that drama and that conflict distracts them from fixing themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why does everyone need it? That's my question. Why is everyone clinging to something else rather than just fixing what they have inside them? If we all came from God or whatever, the source or universe, whatever you think we came from, then that, they're like manifested. Well, if you're going to manifest it, that means that God or creator or whatever you believe in has already given you the skills and the tools and the capabilities to handle shit on your own. Why don't you use those as your strengths? Why do you group up and buy a fucking box of crystals and start doing Reiki and whatever other kind of crazy shit you think that's going to heal people? It's not, man. You can't just go fucking waving your fingers in people's faces when you're a disaster mentally, Everyone's just looking for an outlet.
Everybody became card readers after COVID. It seems like everybody's like, oh yeah, I do spiritual reading, I do this, I do that. It's like, oh boy, what's the new gimmick?
Yeah, they're like, I'm a healer while they're screaming at you, because I'm a fucking healer. It's like, whoa, no, you're not. You're a very angry individual. I don't, you don't need to be healing anyone. You're dangerous. Heal yourself. And it's like, therapy gets so overlooked by people. They think it's only people with problems that need to go get therapy. I'm such a big proponent of people going and getting therapy just so you can, you're not weak for doing it. It's like a coach for your mind.
Right.
If you want to get to the next level, you need a coach, man. Yeah, it's like these therapists and professionals just help you unpack the shit that you've got going on. If it's all jumbled up and whatever, they help you sort it out and then address problem by problem or issue by issue or setback by setback and help you. Because if, we all get anxious and we don't know what's going on, you just need somebody that knows, that has seen this a million times, that knows what they're talking about to maybe walk you through it. It's such a fucking helpful tool in life,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But you can't put that on fucking social media, right? You want to see my therapist? I'm weak, right? That's what they think, anyway.
Let me tell you something, man. It's certain things you can't talk about positive and helping people get over certain things, because you're definitely going to Facebook jail. I've never met a society that you go to Facebook jail for speaking the truth, or even getting punished in real life for speaking the truth. It's like, how do you get in trouble for telling somebody the absolute truth of something, But it's just crazy, man. It's just society has created too many chiefs and not enough Indians, And everybody thinks they have a valid point. Oh, let me talk about this. That's a valid point. Let me talk about this. That's a valid point. And at what point in time you say, come on, man, we're getting a little crazy with the valid points, but everybody feels that they have, something to say or something that's worth being listened to. And then you have other people, because they support the fact that you have something to say, now you've created followers. No more, nobody wants to be a leader. Everybody wants to be a follower. I want to follow this trend. I think the big thing now is the shade room. If it didn't happen in the shade room or didn't say it on the shade room, it didn't happen at all. It's like, what happened to the news media? What happened to the outlets? You understand what I'm saying? Everything now is just social media based. It's like, if it ain't on Facebook, it didn't happen. If it ain't on Instagram, it didn't happen. So facts is, I don't know, man. I think we're in for a long haul. And then you think about some of these countries, where they tell their citizens, this is how you're going to think, and this is it. Do we need a society like that? You know, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Give people freedom of thought process, and you see what happens. They say, look at the United States. I identify as a door. You understand what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I identify as a door. I identify as a car because I'm standing in a parking lot. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like,
it's nuts.
And in some countries, listen, you can only watch X, Y, Z. That's it. The rest of the alphabet, you can't watch it. You know, and you be like, damn, they harsh on their people, you know, because we're given the opportunity to free think. And then we see the downfall of free thinking. And I'm not saying that we should be, you know, a country like, you know, communist country or anything like that. I'm just saying that, you know, look at the problems that it causes, you know. So it's like, where do you start? With this mess that we have right now, where do you start to fix it? You can almost not fix it unless you eliminate everything that's walking the face of the earth. And maybe that's what Bill Gates
and that's
getting at. He was saying, yo.
Well, that's from like an elite perspective. I mean, but again, how do you have to eliminate exactly what you just said? We have to eliminate everything walking the earth that isn't, you know, from yourself for the most part. And like all the distractions, all the bullshit, all the whatever, you have to eliminate all those things, man, and just work on your fucking self. That's how you fix it. And but that was my point from the beginning. If everyone could just cut off all the extras, you know, have a little bit of discipline, again, fix themselves, society's gonna get better, because you're not gonna start shitting on people and pointing fingers for the most part when you're doing well. You know, you're not a hater if you're doing well. If you're doing well, you want to encourage people. You want to see people do better. You want to ask people. You want to have enough humility to say, "Hey, how did you get where you're at? Can you show me a trick? Can you show me what you did? You know, I'll work for you for free. Can you mentor me? Would you want to take somebody in? I'm an open book, wanting to learn and stuff, man. We don't see any of that anymore. You know, and
that's why the poor
you were talking about the truth,
and the rich get richer.
You were talking about the truth. Yeah, you're talking about the truth or whatever, man, and that's important because there's like that saying, the farther our society drifts away from the truth, the more society hates those who speak it. And and then it's also switched over to, when you said everyone wants to be a follower, everyone has a valid point. Everyone has now gone from, here's my valid point or here's my opinion. They've turned their opinion into their truth. So when you call it truth, that person all of a sudden dismisses the option that they could be wrong whatsoever. This is my truth. My truth. No, dude, that's your opinion. Truth isn't subjective to your feelings. There's facts and there's opinion, right? But having an opinion doesn't make it, written in stone like that's the way it is. We just have a society of people who they have their own fucking truth. You can have your own reality, right? But that's a little different. But it's not the truth, man. That's a very specific word.
Yeah. Everybody, you ain't lying, man. Everything you say is true, man. Everything.
Yes, it is.
Facts.
Everybody's opinion has become everybody's opinion has become their truth. And if you don't like their truth or you go against their truth, you're no longer ally, you're an enemy now. They look at you as such, Everybody's aggressive.
Like you're a fascist or something.
As far as how like you told them that you wanted to blow up something. They look at you like you're crazy because your opinion is different than theirs. Like, hold up, aren't we two different people? Don't we think two different ways? Won't we grow up raised two different ways? Everybody acts like we're from a society that they should have been raised in the same way that they were raised. So
it's one of those crazy things too, and you know what I'm talking about. And Yvonne, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about too. With you can apply this to anything, but think about martial arts. Like, I was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about how he said that most people know enough about a topic that they don't know what they're talking about. So, but then they start speaking on it like they're some sort of a fucking expert. Like martial arts, for example.
Oh, man.
Right? You've got You have people that don't do it. They just watch UFC, whatever, and they're armbar, triangle choke, or whatever the fuck they hear from watching it, right? Like, I watch football, and I have for a long time, but I can't go coach a fucking team, right? Nor should I even be a scout. I don't know what the fuck to look for. But once you start in martial arts, you've got all these different belt levels, right? White, orange, yellow, all this other shit. There's a common thing in martial arts when you get that yellow belt, that now you all of a sudden understand martial arts. You've been in it for 6 months. You've learned the basic moves or some basic moves. You now know more about martial arts than you've ever known your whole life, right? And now you think that you're just some fucking Jackie Chan walking around or whatever. When you get to black belt, though, which I'm a black belt, SC's a black belt, we've in different forms or whatever, different styles. That's when real martial artists say, all right, now I'm a black belt. This is when the actual training begins. Not only do we learn the basics, we fucking mastered them, and then we got our black belt. Now that we've gotten all that shit out of the way, now we can start training. So there's so much more, and you can apply that. You got to apply that mindset to everything you do. Humble yourself, close your mouth, learn, look for those doing better than you. Don't fucking hate on them. Don't fucking say that the society's the problem, that they or their privilege got them there or whatever the fuck. No, they put the time in. Occasionally you got the one-offs, spoon-fed or whatever. Grandpa handed down the company or whatever the case is. I get that. But that's not what I mean. You guys get what I'm saying?
Yes,
yeah. I get it.
Yes.
I get it. Because I was asked, a lot of people, like when I meet people and I train with them or whatever, and they be like, how long you been training? And they don't get the point that I'm making. And I look at the time, I'll be like, well, I got here at 7 and it's 8. So I've been training about an hour. And they be like, no, your whole time. But like, yeah, about an hour. They be like, no, I'm talking about how long you've been training. And I'd be like, yo, I don't even think about it anymore. And a lot of people don't get it. They just be like, oh, what do you mean you've been training an hour? Yeah, I've been training an hour. I don't get into that, because now, because of when you're a black belt, you do have to monitor your time because you got to put in a certain amount of time in each belt level for different things. And each time you move up, you're supposed to know something different. You're supposed to master something different. Like, for instance, when I got my 5th degree, it took me 20 years to get that. You understand what I'm saying? And it was right on time. My timer was on from training from white belt all the way to my black belt. And then when I got my black belt, I didn't feel no different. I didn't feel like I could just go out and just do all this magical shit without more training. I realized that, okay, now that I'm here, I need to do this. I need to understand this. I need to understand that. I understand this. Oh, now I truly understand taking someone's balance. I truly understand how to get somebody to do what I want them to do. A fight should be as easy as walking. Everybody's like, yo, when you fight, they say, you calm. I said, you know why? I said, because it took time. Before I would panic, like everybody else. But as I started training more and more, I became relaxed because I knew what I was doing. I knew that I put in the time that I needed to get to that point. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was telling you about that fight. Go ahead.
No, Yvonne, were you going to say something?
No, I'm not saying.
Yeah, and not only that, SC, but when you are so calm, because when you get to that point where you do actually know what the fuck you're doing, you don't have to walk around even looking to fight. Like, you have the humility at that point because you do know enough, you are experienced enough, you have trained enough you can walk away. I've got no problem like letting someone see me run away from a fight. Like, I'll run. I don't give a fuck. And it doesn't make me weak. It doesn't make me a pussy, because if there's 5 dudes, guarantee you if I go at it, I'm going to knock all 5 of you out, and you're not going to know what hit you. But if there's one dude, I'm just like, hey, forget it, and he just starts chasing me and I take off. Am I weak or am I smarter? Knowing I can take that guy. I don't have an ego problem. I don't need people to see me in a certain light where, that don't fuck with that dude or whatever.
Right.
If the time comes, if it comes to it, I'll handle business. But when you get to that level, you don't have to just go bullying people and showing everyone what you know. And that's kind of an odd thing. It's the yellow belt mentality that those people are out there flexing on everyone. And, the baby gangsters, pulling out guns immediately because now they think that, maybe they sold a little bit of this or a little bit of that, and now all of a sudden they're fucking OGs or made men or something. It's like, dude, you got it all wrong. That's the majority of people you see in prison, I think, as far as, the gangs are concerned. Now, I don't want to be ignorant here and speak on something I don't know about, but it's just that ability to want to react and flex. That's what gets people in trouble across the board. But when you got it like that, you don't have to flex,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, you learn how to do certain things and just let it be, man. Just, I'm at a peaceful mindset with me right now. I don't have time for nothing. I don't want to argue with you about nothing. I don't want to. You right. If we start arguing about something, you right. I'm wrong.
You
right.
win. Yeah.
You win.
You can have it.
You got it.
Because if I do get up and I do react, I'm shutting the place down. And is it worth that kind of effort? Is that something? Do you really want to feel the repercussions of that? And that could be in anything. But maybe we're digressing a little bit here. But yeah, when you got it, you don't need to flex, right? When you know you got it.
Yeah.
But humility goes a really long way, man, in life and everything. There are people out there that know more than you, that you can learn from.
Yeah. And
you can't learn if you're always talking. Showing off what you know.
This generation could be humiliated? You think this group of this next generation, can they show humility, you think? Are they capable of it? Or do they have a quote-unquote narcissistic attitude on everything?
I think they've got a baby mindset on everything where they've never really had to face struggles. It's like that saying, bad times create strong men. Strong men create better times create weak men. I think that we're at the weak men stage, and it's going to take a catastrophe. It's going to take a war to humble the society that we've created now. It's going to take some kind of extreme, it's going to take a World War III or extreme poverty or extreme famine or something where they have to actually struggle. Because the biggest struggle that these kids have these days, or even the majority of society, they're all first world problems, man. Like our internet's not working and our fucking life shuts down, or maybe our credit card got locked out, or fucking, they didn't have our special ice cream or whatever the fuck on sale on Instacart today, or, my fucking $80,000 car's tire went flat and I had to call AAA and it took them 30 minutes to get out there. You know what I'm saying? That's the problems that society we're facing today, man. There's nothing real about that shit. That's as bad as you got it. It would take a catastrophe, like a fucking super volcano. I hope it does happen. Shut these goddamn idiots up, man.
But then you think about it, yo. Do we really want them in the forefront? They wouldn't even know how.
I do.
They wouldn't even know how to direct it. No,
exactly.
On a
exactly. Let them learn very fucking quickly that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Right.
What do I do? Yeah. Oh, now you want to listen, you fucking idiots. Yeah, no, I know.
They said
if those are the guys that were...
They said
yeah. I don't want the door on the front line, but sometimes, Go ahead. I'm sorry, man. I keep cutting you off here.
No, you good.
Don't want the door on the front line, man, but I think it's necessary. We gotta get rid of all these fucking doors and chests and fucking whatever other goddamn thing. Fucking let the nukes fly. Because I'm not worried. Like if all of society could collapse and I would be fine, I'm not afraid of it. I understand the realities of what could happen. It's not going to be you know, what are you going to do when everything's... Anyway, we could get off on the whole fucking doomsday prepper thing. Maybe we can do that for another episode, but yeah. I do want it to happen. Long story short, I'm ready. I encourage it.
Yo.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, man. This, I know we're in for a long haul. I know that much. You know, we're definitely in for a long haul. And I don't know if we're going to see change in our lifetime, or is it going to happen when we all of us are dead and buried? You know, at some point in time, history is going to have to repeat itself, and we're going to have to. Some people are going to stand up and say, "Hey, listen, we got to start doing better because it's only going to get worse." You know, so maybe we'll get it together. Maybe we won't. You know.
Yeah, we're like Sodom and Gomorrah right now. That's what I feel like our society's turned into. 100% pleasure seeking. It's just everyone's just pleasure over everything. And when they can't get pleased, they take antidepressants. And then, you know, when they can't get pleased, they turn to a vice. When they can't get pleasure, they, you know, do anything to fucking get it. It's absolutely just it's a crazy society to be in right now, man. And I speaking of identity, I don't identify well with any of it, man. It's so common to just find people that are all like just hooked on fucking, you know, just pleasure seeking. I like purpose over pleasure. Purpose over pleasure, man. The devil, like I said, makes you believe he doesn't exist. That's his greatest trick, making you believe he doesn't exist. He wants to tempt you with all the riches and all that shit. And you got to remain on course, man. Purpose over pleasure. Stay on fucking track, dude. You know? So just ready for the nukes, bro. But that's what's going to fix it, SC.
Wow.
Well, you know. Well, guys, you know, it's always a pleasure when I talk to you too. You know,
well, that's our purpose.
Enjoy our conversations, you know, and it seems like it always goes by fast. You know, but again, we're coming to another end of another episode that was very well put together. You know,
facts. I really like the topic. Thanks, facts.
Well, thank you, guys. Yeah, I enjoyed it too, man. I appreciate y'all's insight.
Yeah, gave me something to think about different, you know. And definitely, you know, especially the way you phrased it, you know. I was like, how are we going to dig into that one? Let's see how we pull this. You know, so.
And before we end the show, do y'all have a gas shortage where y'all at?
I don't. Not that I know of.
I don't.
No, we don't. Not that I know of.
Yeah, it is here. Like, a lot of the gas stations don't have gas down here. Hey, Pandora.
Hey, sugar.
Hi, baby.
Just sitting here listening.
Yo, facts, them two are off the chain, man. Them two are off the chain. I'm not going to even entertain them two right now. I'm not going to even entertain them two. But yeah, so as always, guys, we appreciate everybody that called in.
I hope not.
I
said no gas shortage. I hope not.
You got a damn diesel truck. What are you worried about the gas?
That's what I'm saying. I hope it ain't no gas shortage. I got to drive to D.C. in the morning. I don't got time to be parked around with no gas shortage. I got to go.
Yeah, well, y'all let me know. Y'all can text me and let me know. But yeah, down here it is.
No, I haven't heard anything about it. You know, maybe that's where you at right now.
That's what she was saying. She said it's down there, though.
Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen,
all right, everybody.
Appreciate everybody tuning in.
Yes, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. And please stay tuned for our next episode.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.